What's up, YouTube? It's Brian from RVA Motorsports. Wanted to talk today about being a used car dealer. If you were thinking about being a used car dealer, or you already are a used car dealer, maybe you can throw a few suggestions down in the comments for people as well. But if you're thinking of becoming a used car dealer, first and foremost, if you don't have any type of mechanical ability as far as being able to repair a car, then I wouldn't sell used cars. Because by the time you buy the car, recondition the car, meaning having someone detail the car, wash and wax, or you do it yourself, you got to pay yourself for your time too. But if you don't know how to repair the car, then anything that's wrong with the car, and the reason being why you got it cheap, you're going to have to pay somebody to repair if you want to be any sort of honest car dealer. And that's where all your dishonest car dealers come in. A lot of times it's guys that don't have a clue how to fix a damn car, and they've spent too much money on the car to start with, and they're trying to make too much money on the car in the sale, so they can't afford to fix the fucking car. Period. So they just try to tell you that it's good, there's no problems, hopefully you won't figure it out, you'll buy the car, by the time it makes it to 95, it's not their problem anymore. It's a really shitty way to do business. It really is. And it's why people like myself have such a bad reputation. But if you want to be a used car dealer, if you're mechanically inclined at all, if you can repair a car, the first thing you need to do is get a dealer's license. Well, you got to get a lot before you can get a dealer's license. So the first thing you need to do is get a lot. Here in Virginia, where I am, you got to have a 450 square foot building, office space. It's not a residential. It's got to have a file cabinet. It's got to have a telephone, a desk. You got to have enough for 10 spaces to park cars in outside. And I'm sorry about this light. I know it's probably terrible. It's a little better, I guess. But you got to have the space. Then you got to go take tests. You got to get I think it's a $50,000 bond, just to protect you if anything that you sold was to blow up or anything of that nature. But if you're trying to be a used car dealer without a dealer's license, it is possible. I did it for a while, but it's tough. Because in Virginia, I don't know how it is in your state, but in Virginia, you can only buy and sell 4 cars a year per person. And there's going to be certain cars that you buy that you'll be able to just roll the title, I call it, where the car you bought, the seller, all they did was just sign the title and print their name. That title I would literally just hand off to the next buyer. But some of the buyers that you buy from, they will take it upon themselves to fill out the whole damn title, what you paid for it, your name, your address, and it's hard not to argue that. I mean, it's their car, and honestly, that's what the hell you're supposed to do. But you are allowed 4, so what we would have to do is I would have to title 4, and I'd have to get people in my family to title them as well, because in a year's time, if you're trying to make any type of living, you're going to have to be selling at least 1 car a month. 1 car a week. At least 4 a month. And if you have to title all 4 of those, that's pretty much your year right there in January. So it is. It's tough trying to do it without a dealer's license. Because once you get a dealer's license, then it opens up It opens up being able to go to auctions and get cars instead of having to buy them just straight up from people off of Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace that think their car is worth $2,000 more than it actually is. But it's you can make money. You really have to move and shuffle. But the first thing you really need to do is just get a dealer's license. You get your building, then get your license, and then start going to auctions and buying cars. There's some really good deals to be had at auctions. Shit, I was there the other day and seen it was a 2011 Lincoln Navigator, $1,500. Had like 120,000 miles on it or something. But anyway, guys, just having your own business, not even being a used car dealer, having your own business can be one of the most rewarding things that you can do. But it also can be one of the most stressful things that you can do. Because when it comes time to pay the mortgage at the end of the month, you know that the money that you're handing over is money that you straight up earned, and it's money that came from the work that you did. It's not money just based on how many hours you're at your current job. You're getting paid for your work, not your time. If that makes any sense at all. But like I said, if you can't fix a car, then you probably shouldn't mess with it at all anyway. But for those of you who want to start the way I did, because let's be real, not everybody's starting a business. Ideally you should, but not everybody starting a business has money to just go rent a dealership and pay for the license and pay for the bond, get your LLC, that you have to hire a lawyer for that. I mean, not everybody just starting out has enough money to start out. Because if you're like me, your hand was kind of forced at it, we'll say. So I will give you some tips if you want to start without a license. One, try to get as many of those titles that you can just roll, like I was talking about earlier in the video. Ask the seller. You don't have to tell them you're buying the car to sell it, but I mean, tell them that it's for somebody else. In reality, it is for somebody else. But tell them it's going in somebody else's name. Ask them if they can leave your name off the title and leave the sale price off the title. And if they ask, tell them it's for taxes. I mean, it's dishonest, but you kind of got to pick and choose your battles, guys. So that's the big thing, because like I said, if you only get 4 a year per person, and I don't know how many of you have family or friends willing to go to DMV and trust them to put that car in their name, and they're not going to want some type of money or something for their time, which is understandable, but it's another expense. So try to get as many titles as you can with just seller's name on it. 2, you at least need to try to have $5,000 at least to start, because you're going to want to have 2 or 3 cars at one time. You don't want to put all your eggs in just one basket. You want to have ideally at least 1 or 2 cars that are done up for sale, and then one that you're working on, so when one of those 2 cars sell, you've got another one to put behind it. But like I said, it's tough because you're constantly having to look for cars. So when one sells, you can go replace it with another. So you're having to follow deals while you're trying to fix the car, while you're trying to sell another car. It gets stressful. But when you finally get to sell that car that you've been working on and trying to sell for the last 2 weeks, and you get what you wanted for it, it's a good feeling. It really is. Because most of the time, it seems like when a car sells is when I'm out of money. Straight up, I'll get down to $5 and a car will sell. It seems to happen every time. God's good. And you make the money when you buy the car. And what I mean by that, my car just cut off. So this is one I just bought. That's why I'm out here driving it now, so that shit doesn't happen to somebody else while they're out driving it. But you make your money when you buy the car, straight up. Because if you buy a car that's worth $1,800 and you pay $1,500, you're probably only going to get $1,500 back out of it. And it's probably going to take a while. So you need to try to find a car, like I said, hopefully you know how to work on a car so you can buy, you can buy a Honda Civic, 2003 Honda Civic all day long with a blown head gasket for $500. Buy the car, put a head gasket on it. The head gasket kit's usually about $200. Antifreeze, fill it up gas, recondition it. You're in it for about $1,000. Sell it for about $1,800. It's $800. But like I said, if you buy that same car for $15,000, hopefully not having a lot of problems because you don't know how to fix it, then all the time you spent looking for the car, going and haggling about the car, buying the car, taking the car home, cleaning the car, because you got to clean the damn car. You can't sell a dirty car. And then fixing whatever little small things might be wrong with it to get a quick sale out of it. And you're pretty much fucking breaking even. You can't. You make your money when you buy the car. Don't overspend. Don't buy a car because it's the only one there. Wait a day. I promise you it'll be worth it. And when it comes time to sell the car, put a number in your head that you want. Say you want $1,700 for the car. Put it up for $1,995 or best offer. And don't take anything less than $1,700. Period. Because I've had offers for $16,000 before. And I wanted so bad to say yes, take it, it's yours, because I needed the money. But I stood my ground and I said no. And the very next day, somebody came and gave me what I wanted for the car. So you got to have faith in what you're doing. You got to stand your ground. And just keep moving. Just keep moving forward. Don't give up. Because like right now, it's in the middle of January. And everybody who's anybody is waiting on their tax refund. So you think I'm selling cars right now? No. Not at all. I've got a 2005 Honda Accord for sale right now, and very soon to be this Jeep Limited. The people they're calling and trying to pay $1,100 and $1,200. So the only people out shopping right now are other dealers. You know it's a dealer if they offer you half of what the car is worth, because again, you make your money when you buy the car. They're trying to get the car cheap to flip it over and sell it. So try to get the car as cheap as you can. If it needs any type of work, try to keep it to engine work or mechanical, body work, paint, seats ripped up. You want to try to stay away from that. Try to find the cleanest car you can, like an old lady Civic that had a blown head gasket. That's perfect because it's easy to sell. Nobody wants a car that looks like it's been beat up. You can tell when a car has been taken care of. You can just tell. I've looked at 45 other different cars before I bought one because I knew the cars I was looking at was going to take me weeks to sell. Because I was turned off when I got there, so I knew somebody else was going to be turned off when I was trying to sell it. But anyway, guys, just those are some tips if you want to become a used car dealer. Just take your time, save money, and do it the right way, because I promise you it'll be a lot easier. But if not, again, use these few tips and just keep moving forward. Like, if you liked the video, hit like. If you didn't like the video, comment down below what I could have done different. Subscribe. Follow my Instagram at RVA Motorsports, and have a great day.